And then we gotta wait around for him to restart his goddamn computer. And we're just sitting here and like, you know what? In an hour and a half, I'd rather be watching fucking Ruby Red videos on fucking YouTube, right? But now, in an hour and a half, we're still going to be recording Rich Dickman Show because we start so late, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, y'all know when the show is at 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock every week. It's the same.
An amazing suggestion. We call this the Randy episode. We don't record any longer and the show at the same time, but in the middle, you can edit it in. It's super easy. A long pause. And that's why it's called the Randy episode. You just fill the rest of the 90 minutes with a big long pause.
I would listen back either during the edit or fucking while I'm driving my car, and I'd like, you know what? I'm gonna put this thing in a ditch. I can't deal with this long pause. Right into a ditch. That's it. I'm done.
It's like a 13-minute pause. Like the worst thing.
What the fuck is this? Who's he on his phone?
Hey, or this. Even better. We just record for half the time and just play it at double the speed. We sound like chipmunks.
Slower. Make it record half the time.
Yeah, that's what it would be. Yeah. Wrong way. I don't know how to do it.
We sound like the guy who does our bumpers. Yeah. Howdy, folks.
Hey, folks.
Randy, what's going on?
It's time for that weekly episode. That weekly segment. It's time for...
Oh my God. It's updating.
Oh, fuck.
It's time for that weekly segment where Randy has a long pause.
Fuck. All right, let's get going. Jesus Christ. Poor Randy. Randy, you get in when you can. All right, bud. All right, bye.
He used to do a World of Warcraft advice podcast. He even did the original Drunken podcast, changing the game and influencing a generation of podcasters. But he was disgraced, accused of crimes he never committed, shamed, he disappeared. By the grace and generosity of Mr. Rich Dickman, he was raised again. Seconded by his co-host, definitely not main host, Ray, Rem Dickman has returned, sexier and more handsome than ever. This is The Rich Dickman Show, the greatest podcast ever produced by Rich Dickman with Rem and Ray. Featuring executive producer Randy, producer Ryan, Maddie from Australia, hot drummer Newsbaden, and Svenson. The Rich Dickman Show, your slightly better than mediocre podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 133 of The Rich Dickman Show, the podcast that loves socialism. I am your host. I am Rem. I'm just Rem, no longer have a last name. And boy, howdy, do I love social justice. I love paying more in taxes. I certainly love letting the government control everything I do. And I can't wait to be forced to take a vaccine. Yes, I love everything. And there's my co-host, Ray. Hi, Ray. How are you, buddy?
Hey, can we add, can they chip us too? So they can track us? Put a chip in me?
Yes. Yes.
Right in me.
I just assumed the chip would come with the forced vaccine, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah. All right.
My forearm, my neck,
socialism,
my brain,
Let's
whatever.
do it.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I want to pay 55% in taxes. I'll pay my fair share. I don't have much, so I'll pay more than my fair share to make up for the people who can't. Because why should anybody else have to work hard? I will help. I love everybody. This is great. Can't wait. Ray, how you doing, buddy? What's happening, man? What are you looking at?
Shoot, what's happening? There's so much happening. You know what? Let's revisit this one. The Tooth Fairy had to pay another visit here. So yesterday I was at work.
Would you knock another kid's tooth out? Oh, shit.
Yep. Yeah. Beating up kids. I'm like, this kid's annoying me. Just punch him. I mean, what are they going to do, right? They can't fight back. So I'm at work where I work construction. So I'm constantly busy, right? And I get a phone call, but it's a video call from my wife. And I'm like, what the heck is happening? This never happens. Therefore, I should answer this. And lo and behold, it's Stella. And she's very proud to tell me that she pulled another one of her teeth out. Just yanked that bad boy right out. And I would like to report that I planned much better. Did not become inebriated or distracted later at night. And I extracted the tooth from under her pillow and played Tooth Fairy. I played Tooth Fairy successfully. Didn't wake her up, nothing. And just
Ray,
as smooth as could be. Just congrats to me.
You got
Father of the Year.
You got balls of steel, buddy, because every time we do this show, you have those kids walking in and say goodnight to you about this time. So here you are proclaiming the mysteries of the Tooth Fairy.
If you want, I could call Stella in here and see if she has any, if she's clued in at all.
No.
I doubt it. She's pretty, well, clueless.
Is your wife wearing shorts? You could bring.
No, but she's wearing the pants that like just show off a lot. They're tight. They're probably my
Does she need
pants.
to do some work in the room there? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm such an asshole, right?
I can be like, hey, can you open the window back there, honey?
Yeah. Man, it's been such a crazy week since last we did this. We did 2 shows almost in a row.
Oh my goodness.
We did.
Speak of the devil.
somebody's.
Hey, come here real quick.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Can you smile real quick? Smile.
Oh,
Show
there's
how many
teeth missing. Like a jack-o'-lantern.
None on the top, missing a bunch on the bottom.
Wow.
So what happened yesterday?
Man.
Where'd your tooth go?
I lost it.
You lost it? How'd you lose it?
Yeah.
So it's just wiggly, and then I just pulled it out, and the little tongue just my sister.
Nice. Did the Tooth Fairy come last night? Nice. High five. All right, I got to get back to the show. You guys.
She's got all the features of your Chinese heritage, Ray.
Yes. Now it's a circus in here. Okay. All right. I love you. Good night.
Yeah.
See you guys later. Okay. This guy has as many teeth
there
as
is none.
Stella is missing. Okay. He's gonna hit all the buttons.
Wow.
All right,
There's the baby. You know, Ray, it must be weird having all those kids in that construction site with you. They should be wearing hard hats.
With no hard hats, no PPE. It's very dangerous. But they're well trained.
I hope so.
They're aware of all the dangers.
Potty trained. I mean, they go outside. Yeah, they know to knock on the door when it's time to go. Put them out in the yard.
It's cheap labor, okay? I mean, just don't tell. Don't tell OSHA.
Ray, we got to get that part of the show done before the show because I was about to get into something. I don't remember what. And now it's going to take me 20 more minutes to get back into my groove.
I need like some remote control on that door so I can like have them ping in. I got to get a security camera on the outside. Make
You
this
need
like a safe room.
on-air sign. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I can tell them.
All right, I want to say
before they come in.
welcome back to executive producer Randy. We missed him last week. I'm sure he missed us as well. But welcome back. We were going to have Randy pop in, but Randy, you can talk, buddy. I mean, we got the thing going, but I mean, see, Ray, can we start over?
It's just one of the. You know what? I will say this. Anytime stuff like this happens, as a listener, it's the best show. It's something about it. It's completely authentic because this is actually, I'm sorry. When we script it like this, it just becomes, it sounds authentic to the listeners. That's not giving away too much.
No.
That's
right.
exactly how it is.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Let's talk about what we're doing this month before I forget. All right. We have moved our recording day for the month of November because Ray is a complete fucking asshole. And we're going to be recording on Tuesdays this month. All right. Because he's not going to be available on Thursdays when we normally do the show. So we're going to have fresh stories from the weekend. That's true. That's true. Plus, we got a Thanksgiving come up. So the next couple of Tuesdays, we will be here at bit.do/TRDS1. Get into that Discord, and you can join us 10 o'clock Eastern PM. And next week, Ray, I believe you will not be part of the show next week. Is that correct?
Pretty much, no. I'll be in flight at some point.
Okay, so Ray, here's the thing, man. Like, I lost power several weeks ago, and I wasn't able to make a show, but I was able to pull everybody together to do a show. I don't think it's fair that I should be the one having to find a co-host.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could relieve you of that responsibility. You might not have someone to co-host with. It might be a solo show, but I don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah. And I know you got a lot of big plans for the birthday show that we're looking to do on the 27th of November. That's a Friday night, as we get back into a regular schedule. So, my 40th birthday is on the 28th. And Ray is planning some big surprises for the 27th. Ray and Randy have been in on this, and I don't know too much about it, but I know they're doing it. So we're looking forward to that. So we got some exciting stuff coming up. I wonder who the mystery guest host could be next week. You think I should go porn, or you think I should go like professional, or you think one of our past guests? What do you think?
It's nice to have checks and balances. So if you go full porn, you might not have the check or the balance. So you might. You know what? All I know is I've seen Frozen 2 at least 10,000 times because it's Oliver's favorite movie. And Elsa says if you go too far, you might drown. So I just gotta stick with that analogy. So maybe go with I don't know. Maybe just go full new person, dive in the deep end and see what happens.
Well, we'll have Randy here for some semblance of normality, as long as he gets his shit together and he can record. Oh, here he comes. Nope, couldn't hear you. Still can't hear you. Poor Randy.
Just yell louder. Just kidding.
So that's what's happening.
I'm telling you, it's a hammer. The hammer fixes everything. Duct tape.
Yeah. Oh boy, Randy's having issues tonight. That's okay. Randy's here though, so it's
okay, Randy.
Yeah. All right, richdickman.com for all of your Rich Dickman needs. Check it out. We just renewed the website. I always get that date confused. I always think it's in November and it happens in October. So it's like, oh man, all right, got to pay that one. But so richdickman.com. Get your merch, get your episodes, get whatever you need. I blame Randy and I blame Ray for the slow start tonight, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, Ray, what's going on, buddy? How have you fared in this week of election coverage? And the election, even though they've declared, the media's declared a winner. There still really isn't technically one because there's still states counting. It's the craziest shit.
Yeah. So I personally try and more or less stay out of it because, as we all know, it's very divisive. People get all kinds of upset if you have any sort of a counter point to whatever. Just a different viewpoint. They just don't get along. So, but I get a lot of people that are gloating right now, which I don't recall what happened in the 2016 election and before. Like, I wasn't this involved where I was actually paying as much attention. So for me, it's hard to gauge whether it's more or less. But to me, it's like, don't personally take credit. Like, your one vote, like we all say every vote matters, but like your one vote is not what made everything happen. So don't act like somehow you're super important in this whole grand picture. That's the one thing that drives me a little bit crazy. But yeah, it is a switch has been flipped, right? And rightfully so. Trump is very polarizing, undisputed in that regard. But it is fascinating to see people coming out of the woodworks and the things they're saying and doing in all manners. There's not one specific thing, but yeah. What about you? How's it been on your end?
I'm me, so everything's fine, right? Ultimately, everything's fine. I don't care. I just find it funny. I find it's just funny to me because, for 4 years we've had to hear how Russia stole the election and you got to, it's a stolen election, a legitimate president, all that stuff. But now when the other side wants to, investigate things that may or may not be there, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just funny to be told, oh, there's no way it could have been rigged. There's no fraud involved here. Like, just accept it. Just accept it. It's like, oh, okay. It just seems a little weird. All right. Just maybe Joe Biden certainly did outperform Obama's landslide of 2008. Maybe Joe Biden didn't motivate 74 million people to vote for him when he couldn't bring 10 people to a rally. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything. Everything just seems, it's just weird. I don't care. As long as the government is not, as long as we don't have one party rule in all three parts of the government, I don't really give a crap. My local government is much more important to my daily life than the federal government. I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. And everyone thinking the sitting president who is contesting the election right now, right? And he doesn't have to concede yet because nothing gets official until December. Al Gore went till December 13th, and I cheered him on. You keep fighting, Al Gore. I voted for you. You keep fighting. But they're telling the president is conducting a coup. How does the sitting president conduct a coup? Not sure how that one works. But the interesting thing is, and here, okay, oh, Rem, you're talking conspiracies. I'm not really talking conspiracies. I know what I read. I wish I had saved it because several weeks ago, as I'm just browsing Twitter, I came across an interesting post where someone had laid out the game plan of what would happen on election night. And it was amazing that just about everything came true. It started with, the polls. The polls were inflated to reflect a positivity for Biden. And then on election night, it said that the networks would call more states for Biden and wait on calling the states for Trump, which they did, as we saw with Virginia being called with 0% of the vote. And in Arizona, when they still had ballots coming in, they called. Yeah, we saw that. In Florida, they waited all night to call Florida, right? So that happened. And then they said on election night, a speech would be made, kind of declaring victory, but not really. But then the media would rush to declare victory for Biden and to make the president seem even crazier when he wanted to contest it or ask questions. And then it turned into, and anybody who questions the results will then be labeled conspiracy theorist or some type of establishing a coup. It's the craziest shit. This is one of the most insane things I remember in my lifetime outside of the 2000 election. And the 2000 election only came down to 537 votes, hanging chads and all that stuff. And and I like I said, I wanted Gore to keep fighting because I voted for Gore, and I bought into the narrative. We all should be afraid of Bush, and Bush is going to start wars and all that shit. Back then, Ray, I used to watch Crossfire with Tucker Carlson and James Carville on CNN. I don't know if you remember that show. But Tucker Carlson is a Republican guy, James Carville is a Democratic guy, and it was a debate show, and the two of them would argue for a half hour or an hour, however long the show was. And I used to be all into that. I used to love that show. And I was like, oh my God, James Carville's making excellent points. This is great. They're going to change the results here. Nothing's going to change. Like Biden's going to end up winning this thing, and he's going to be sworn in as president, and Trump will go peacefully into the night. Like, he's not going to hold on, and there's not going to be a military overthrow and none of that bullshit. But it's just weird, right? And the scary part is those of us who aren't allowed to ask any questions or aren't allowed to scratch our heads. Like, I had a conversation with Chris O.C., of course, and I just had to happen to mention, man, it was really weird that they brought in 28,000 ballots and they all went for Biden. That's just kind of strange. And he's like, well, where's the proof of that? You have no proof of that. Oh, but I was like, what? I'm not alleging I have any proof of that. It's a story I read. I'm sorry for having conversation here. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird that you can't talk about it. Anyways, so Dave, you know who Dave Chappelle is?
Yeah. Yep. I think I've heard of him.
So Dave Chappelle, the comedian. Yeah. And I love Dave. I've been a fan of Dave Chappelle forever. All right. When Chappelle's show, I memorized all the skits, and Randy's got his thumbs up. So that's good. Memorize all the skits from Chappelle's show, stand-up special. I love Dave Chappelle. And if anybody could teach us about race and comedy, it's Dave Chappelle. And it's a shame that he left his show back in the early 2000s because, we could really use Dave Chappelle now. And so he's making a comeback, and, he's got his views, and some people don't like them. And if you've watched any of his specials, but anyways, this is me rambling as I organize my thoughts in my head, Ray. Dave Chappelle hosted Saturday Night Live this past week, and I don't normally watch Saturday Night Live unless Dave Chappelle's hosting it, because Saturday Night Live hasn't been funny in years. It's terrible. But Chappelle did an opening monologue. He did about 15 minutes of an opening monologue, and it was so interesting to me. Watching him make these jokes, and you can hear the audience not know how to react to the jokes, because they weren't all jokes. A lot of them were truths that he was telling, but in a joking way. And he would use words that they weren't sure they should laugh or not, or they should boo. And he didn't outright condemn Trump or praise Biden. And the audience just seemed so confused, and it was amazing. It was amazing listening to these stupid assholes just sit there confused. They didn't know how to react to Dave Chappelle. Can he say that? Oh my God, did he really just? Oh, can you say those? Anyways, there was one thing I do want to play, because I actually thought it was fairly powerful. In just a minute and 25 seconds. So I'm going to play that on the show right now, but it spoke to me, and hopefully it speaks to a lot of people. All right, here we go.
I implore everybody who's celebrating the day to remember, it's good to be a humble winner.
Now, remember, this is the opening monologue to SNL where he's telling jokes, and he's kind of not making jokes right here. So this is pretty. Anyway, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Remember when I was here 4 years ago? Remember how bad that felt? Remember that half the country right now still feels that way. Please remember that. Remember that for the first time in the history of America, the life expectancy of white people is dropping because of heroin, because of suicide. All these white people out there that feel that anguish, that pain, that mad because they think nobody cares. Maybe they don't. Let me tell you something. I know how that feels. I promise you, I know how that feels. If you're a police officer, and every time you put your uniform on, you feel like you got a target on your back. You're appalled by the ingratitude that people have when you would risk your life to save them. Oh, man, believe me. I know how that feels. Everyone knows how that feels. But here's the difference between me and you. You guys hate each other for that. And I don't hate anybody. I just hate that feeling. That's what I fight through. That's what I suggest you fight through.
So I play that because so if everything holds as it is, right, Donald Trump will no longer be our president come January 20th, whatever it is, and Joe Biden will ascend to the throne, so to speak. All right, he'll take over. And there's a lot of people on that side of the aisle who are mad at people on the other side of the aisle because they enabled the Mad King, or they supported him, or they donated, or whatever it is. They had a different political opinion. They had a different view of how to do things. And there's people over there who want to put those other people on lists and say, hey, we got to make a list of these people so they don't get jobs anymore. So we can make sure they don't infect their poisons into everybody else again. And I'm thinking, are you fucking insane? What the hell is happening to our country right now? We don't put people on lists in the United States of America. Are you out of your mind? Who do these people think they are? How does this unify anybody? Oh, we spent 4 years not unifying. No, fuck you. All right. You spent 4 years trying to tell us you were better. So be better. All right. We don't need to put people on lists. We don't need to keep people away from keep people from working, prevent people from making money or providing for the family just because they had a different political ideology. These aren't criminals. These are Americans, our brothers and sisters, our family members. There's people who don't talk to their mother and father anymore because they voted for somebody else. Are you out of your mind? How can you hate each other so much for a difference in political opinion? What did Donald Trump do to hurt anybody that was so bad? As far as I can see, people are still walking the streets. They still voted in an election. There's no fascism that I can see. We still have our freedom of speech and our freedom of choice and our freedom of guns and all that other stuff. I don't know the horrible things that he's done to elicit that kind of response, to put people on lists for re-education camps, for what's the other word? Re-education training or reconciliation committees or whatever that bullshit is. Like, what the fuck do these people think they are? Like, do I need re-education, Ray? Because I host a podcast where I like to question things, like I question narratives.
Yes.
Do I look like a person who's going to harm people just because I'm asking questions? Like, are you out of your mind? So Dave Chappelle lays it out. It's like, you people, you feel that way and you hate each other because of it. There's no reason to hate each other. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing. I hope. We all want to be able to go home, sit on our couch, and watch fucking television. Right? That's it. That's it. we all have different ways of getting there. We have different jobs, we have different opinions, different ideologies, but we're not out there trying to kill each other over it, and we shouldn't be. All right. Just because we had a guy you didn't like as president for 4 years, who some of you voted for and then decided you didn't want to vote for him a second time. We don't need to put people on lists. All right. They're still Americans. They're still our brothers and sisters. And not one of them has ever held a gun to my head and said, hey, I'm going to change the way you live. No, it's never happened. It's just insane how angry and how violent and radical some of these people are just because they didn't like a guy for 4 years. I mean, what the fuck? That's been bugging me for the last week, really. Because I've been open here, right? You know how I feel about things. Just leave me alone. My whole political philosophy is taxation is theft, and leave me alone, and that's it. I don't want to do anything. I'll pay whatever it is I'm required to pay. Reluctantly, but I will go up and down the aisles and one-way aisles like I'm instructed to, and I'll put that stupid mask on, but just leave me the fuck alone. And don't put me on a list because I don't happen to agree with you that I think student loan debt should be erased. Like, Ray, your thoughts?
Well, I have student loans, so if they want to be erased, I'm perfectly happy with that. But so here's the thing is, what you're talking about though, it can't be that many people. I don't know what the exact numbers are right now. But off the top of my head, it's something like at a minimum of 70 million voted for Trump, and then 78 or whatever, 80 million, whatever the numbers were that
74
came in, voted for Biden.
Last I saw was 74-70.
Yeah, but okay, so we're over 140,000 million people that voted. So the people you're talking about, they're not the majority here, right? Like it can't be that many people. So those are the people that we need to put on these lists. Those are the people we need to find. You know what I mean? Because it's not 74 million, right? Yeah, there's not 74 million of these people saying that, right? So find the ones that are that radical, and then find those because they're part of whatever. Like on both sides, those are the Antifa type people, right? Like that. Those are the crazy nutballs that are. It's just too radical. Like, what do you? Are you? I don't even know how to describe it. It's insane. It's insane. You can't.
It's a group of people.
It's war crimes. I mean, that's literally like internment camps and stuff like that. Like a POW camp type of deal. Like what are we talking about here? It's insane to suggest that something like that would happen because that's basically saying half the country should be gone. If that's your thought process, well, let's just infect everyone with coronavirus because it kills half the population, right? So it's an easy solution if that's what you're.
Half of us should be dead now. Yeah, you can't. You don't fight fascism with fascism, all right? And there are people in this country who truly believe that the last 4 years have been under a fascist authoritarian regime where their freedoms have been limited and their ability to live their lives have been infringed. No, that's all in your head. Fucking Chris O.C. texted me after they declared Biden. It's like, oh, it was a nice day outside. Smells like freedom. I'm like, smells like freedom? You live in fucking New York where Cuomo's locked your ass down. You haven't been outside in 6 months. Are you out of your mind? Freedom? Because a guy is a president-elect now? Like, how the fuck does that change, you psychopath? And then and you saw that the tweet. I've been saying this for a few years now. Listen, we need to talk and understand each other. Why are we thinking like that? Instead of being angry, let's talk to each other. And so, fucking Pete Buttigieg, Mayor Pete, tweeted, "We need to sit and we need to talk to our brothers and sisters who voted the other way." And then you saw my tweet to that. It's like this is what I've been saying for 2 years, but now the orange man's gone. Now it's a thing to do. Are you fucking crazy? And then Svenson got in on that, and Svenson starts going off on Trump. Like, I'm not even talking about Trump. I'm not even talking about Trump. I'm talking about us. Like, what the hell? What? Anyways, so that's where we're at. Oh yeah, go ahead.
You made me think of something, which this might be backtracking a slight bit here, and maybe we should bring Svenson in for this because he's chomping at the bit here. But that's where what you're saying is basically like New York, right? It's locked down, and why is it locked down? I would like to actually ask Svenson this one because he said that on the last episode that he did not vote for Trump, although he had previously in the previous election, but he did not this time because he didn't like how Trump handled coronavirus. But going back to what you said, and I'm strongly in favor of this, is I'm much more concerned about local government, because if Trump didn't do anything or enough, according to what Svenson said, for coronavirus, well, then all the local governments failed too. So, it's that trickle down effect, that's why I care more about the local government, because I mean, what's the president supposed to say? We're locking everything down? At some point that might be the right thing to do. But they can also, there's sections of the country that are less affected, more affected. And at that point you kind of, I mean, I'm no expert on politics and how this works, but the local government, if they see this rise in cases or whatever the case may be, they should be the one saying, we're here, we're on ground zero, let's actually take action. And if they're the ones failing at doing that, we need to locally make our voices heard as well.
Svenson, you're in there. Go ahead.
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right. How you doing, buddy?
The Rich Dickman show going.
Super.
Okay, I gotta get in there. This is going to be really quick. It's like everyone wants to say, well, we need to work together. We need to be together. We need to, start over. We need to, try to unify and stuff like that. And here we are. We're 6-7 days out of the election. Now, we don't know why, but it's like, why hasn't Trump conceded? It's just that simple. People want to say, oh, well, they cheated votes. Oh, they're under votes. They counted votes. They're missing votes. Biden is supposedly up like 4 million votes, just like Hillary won the last one with 3 million votes. So what? Maybe there's 20,000 votes missing, 50,000 votes missing. 4 million votes is a hell of a count. Now, aside from that, let's just say this. Why is he putting up such a fight to not concede? Hillary did. Hillary didn't go for 5, 7, 8 days, asking for a recount. She graciously said, hey, I lost. It's that simple. That's easy. People want to talk about healing, and yet here we are. We have Mitch McConnell talking about, well, we're going to hold this seat, until 2024. Already, Biden hasn't even taken office, and they're already scheming for 2024. What is this? How are you going to have a government like that? They do have the January 5th, runoff in Georgia, which is extremely important for the Supreme Court. I mean, not the Supreme Court, the Senate, because those 2 Senate seats are up. If the Democrats get the seats, then that means they'll have control of the Senate, which will be the first time the Democrats have had 3 offices since Obama's first year in 2008. So, I mean, it's like people keep talking about, they want to work together. They want to do this. They want to do that. Yet no one is doing it. And Biden, even in his speech, Biden said, I want America, to work together. There's no red states. There's no blue states, no Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, et cetera, et cetera. That is what a leader's supposed to do. That is the way a leader's supposed to be. Trump kept mentioning, well, all these blue states, that's where all the violence and the crime and all the, the everything is happening. But it's the red states that have the highest coronavirus, highest taxes, lowest education, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, you don't want all this division happening, yet it's still happening. And as I said, Biden hasn't even taken office, and they're already, talking about, well, we'll wait till 2024. You can't have that. You seriously can't. And if you want to try, to throw fingers and faults and stuff like that, you definitely have to start there. You need a fresh start. And this can be a fresh start, and yet they don't want to do it.
I would offer this, Svenson. If I told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Depends how much you're paying me.
Say I'm not paying you anything.
To me.
So you said we need a fresh start. What does it have to do with anybody who's in charge? Like, why are we allowing these people to rule our lives in such a way where we have to sit and wait for their orders in order to heal? Fuck Trump. Fuck Biden.
I thought you
Fuck
already
McConnell.
said that, we don't have to sit around and wait for our lives, that everything is okay.
Right, exactly. We can make everything okay. We don't have to sit here and worry about what Trump's doing. And I would argue 4 million more popular votes means nothing in the Electoral College. And he's extra. Listen, support for Trump or not, he's exercising his right in the election process to contest things that he thinks may be wrong. That's neither here nor there. He doesn't need to concede yet. Should he concede? I don't know. Maybe he should. Maybe he shouldn't. I don't know.
You should concede
I don't know.
because you know well if this was Hillary.
Hey, Svenson.
Well, I would say
that if you look, it's been a couple days since I looked at the numbers, but the actual, so due to the electoral, the way that works, there was a number of call it swing states where he was within a couple thousand votes. And if there's like 3 or 4 states that he's that close, in my opinion, it's like, well, shoot, if those actually went the other, if you recount or whatever, I don't know, there's some horseplay, a couple thousand votes. We're not talking he's losing every state by that much. It's, I just saying, I don't know that much about it, but
right.
If you got 50 electorals by 5,000, 2,000 votes, you wait it out.
I understand that. Trust me, I fully understand that, and it is his right to recount. However, I can tell you, I've got the list up here on what there are behind in electoral stuff. But honestly, it doesn't matter. As I said, Hillary, had conceded, and if Hillary was going on, you guys would be going crazy. You know that.
Hold on. Just hold on. I don't want to make this about Trump and all that stuff. Okay. That's not what I'm trying to message here, but they haven't finished counting in Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. All right. So I don't know how they can declare anybody a winner at this point either. They're even still counting in Alaska.
It's not that hard.
They're still counting in Alaska. We're a week after and they're still counting. So, they're still counting votes. Now I have to say, Joe Biden is doing what he should be doing. Moving forward, right? If he thinks he won, he should be acting like he won. If your side thinks they won, they should be acting like they won and moving on and how to rebuild and reunite because we've been so divided for so long or everything's been terrible, whatever it is. Whether Trump concedes or not should not affect how we view each other as people. All right. Because you voted
it has nothing to do with how we view as people.
And that's great. And I'm glad you think that way. But there are plenty of people out there who thinks it means everything and that it's okay to wish harm on their political opponents, which is not a good thing. Svenson, you voted for Biden. God bless you. Cool. Good for you. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're happy with your vote and you're proud of it.
I don't like you anymore.
Yeah, but
Ray,
there's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Big difference of what?
We won't get into it, but my Dick of the Week call, you'll understand what and why. But Trump was just bad for America in general. Seriously. I know you guys don't see it because, hey, situations, but trust me, as a minority, as a person living in a minority area, as, person who has minority friends, it was not working out very well at all. Seriously. On the surface, you might think everything is well, but no.
Well, no. All right. So everybody thinks I come from a certain point of view or I just make shit up on my own. And that's fine. That's what I do. I talk and I make a podcast, right? I happen to have several close minority friends myself. I know. Would you believe it? Right. And we were talking about politics one day, and I try not to talk about politics, but this one happened to come up because he brought it up. And this is a black man. And I said, and so we were talking, and so he was asking me, I was asking him, all right, so, hey, where are you leading, buddy? Like, how you feeling? He's like, honestly, and now remember, Svenson, there's a black man living in Connecticut, and Connecticut's one of the bluest states there can be. And he said, I'm voting for Trump. I like what he's been doing for us. I like where we've been. My life is better now than it was 4 years ago. And, I like what he's doing for my community, and I like what he's been doing for the country. Now, all right. A lot of people don't like the guy. Some people do, but you're a minority and I'm talking to a minority. What would you say to him?
What would I say to him? I would say that was his right. But at the same time, I want to know specifics on why he feels that way, Well,
I can't bring him on the show here.
I know you can't bring him on the show, but I would like to sit down with him and hear specifics on how he thinks it helped. Because I bet you, if you talk to him, everything he thinks that helped him probably has nothing to do with who's president.
Okay. So let's talk.
But hey, let's get into this. What Dave Chappelle said. He said he's fighting that feeling, and this is what I hear a lot, and I hear a lot that, this is why I really wanted to touch on this in the bonus episode with you, Svenson. Maybe we can get into it now. But I hear a lot. He's saying he's fighting that feeling, And I hear that a lot where they're like, yeah, it's the minority and this feeling of whatever it is being treated differently. But they keep saying feeling. And I'm like, but your feelings are your feelings. When I feel something, like I've been fired a number of times. I've had people just treat me poorly. Happens all the time. And I mean, I look white. I guess I'm 25% Asian. So technically I'm part minority, I guess. But
you're a minority, yes.
But I look white as hell. Like no one thinks I'm anything but white. But so as far as I can tell, no one's treating me as a minority, right? Therefore, I guess people would say I don't fall into that category. But I always just say, you know what? People are shitty. Like people are there's just bad people. Don't know how to treat people right. I've worked for bosses that literally belittle you 24, like your entire time working with them. They're just belittling you. It doesn't matter who you are. Equal opportunity belittler. They don't give a fuck who you are. They're just horrible people. So I'm always, I don't know how else to ask it. Like without, I don't know, today's day and age, is it racist to say like, hey, how as a minority do you feel worse off? Because obviously, like if someone's, putting in your lawn, they're burning a cross, like Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Like, let's go find those people and like literally we need to get rid of those people. But like, I do hear that feeling. They keep saying feel like this. And I'm like, but where is it? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm curious. I mean, you've said it. Yeah. I'd love to hear what's happening.
I can sum this up without talking about race totally easily. Mm-hmm. And obviously that simple thing is coronavirus, the mask situation. All you have to do is wear a mask. And he refused for people to put on a mask. He refused to put a mask. He said, don't put on a mask. You don't need a mask. When did wearing a piece of cloth become political? That's the perfect example there. And then all these people started coming out saying, well, he's not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. They're asking you to simply wear a mask to stop the spread. That's it. Now it's been forced upon you. And people are like, you're taking away my rights. You're taking away my liberties. No, we're asking you to wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask. But hey, if you catch it and you spread it to someone and your loved one dies, that's your fault, dumbass. So, Svenson, I mean, that's the perfect reason. Svenson, it has nothing to do with race.
I live in Connecticut again, right? Again, one of the bluest of blue states, all right? We've had Democrat governor and we had John Rowland for a few years, but we've basically had Democrat control in our legislative bodies for 30 years. We were doing really well with coronavirus earlier this year, to the point where we're like, at one point, we're the only green state in the union, all right? Now, suddenly, even though we've been social distancing, even though we've been wearing masks, even though we've been we did open up a little bit, but there's still plenty of restrictions on us. We were one of the first states to really close down. All right. Now we're spiking. All right. Now my son has to quarantine for 2 weeks because somebody in his school tested positive. My daughter, who goes to the same building in a different school and lives with my son, who has to quarantine for 2 weeks. Well, she gets to go to school still. Anyways, that's confusing to me. I don't understand, but it is. So I don't know how, with a Democrat governor who's issued mask orders and social distance orders and business closure orders, we rolled back from phase 3 to phase 2.1, where we cannot be indoor dining after 9:30 p.m. because after 9:30 p.m. the virus grows legs and starts infecting even more people at night. Apparently, I don't know, but we are the bluest of blue, and we're spiking again. How is that anybody in a red state or the president's fault? That's a virus doing what it's going to do.
Simple, because we already know that it's beyond the point of where you can just simply just wear a mask and go and it goes away. It's not going to happen. That was way back in probably June.
That was never.
Once it got out, it was too far. So I mean, we're past that point. The mask is only to slow down the spread. It's not to stop it. It's already out there, and it's already, masked to a mass amount. So, I mean, it's too late. Had the mask order been, issued back in January, February, when it was first announced, it was December 28th last year when it was first announced. Had the mask mandate been put in January, we probably wouldn't have had it. And people say, oh, no. Hey, but remember Zika? We never had to wear a mask.
Yeah, we didn't. I guess I don't understand how, if the governors are in control of their states, how does the president take full blame for that when he said, you know what, we'll give you the resources you need to fight it. You make the decisions because that's what federalism is. I don't.
Because the president never did that. You know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I mean, he let the states make their own decisions and run their own states. You know, my only thing is, like,
if you want to be a leader, the buck stops there.
Okay, well, Governor Ned Lamont was a leader and told us all you can't do shit on March 12th of this year. So you got to stay home. You got to wear masks. You can't go anywhere. We're closing schools. So Governor Ned Lamont was a leader. He stood up to the president and defied his orders. Yet here we are in our second wave, and my kids are home from school because some asshole tested positive in school. So none of that really makes sense to me. But all right, maybe I'm the crazy one. But I got my mask on. I got my sanitizer.
Suck it.
Yeah,
well,
you
anyway,
got 4 waves
I was
over
just
there.
saying, it's like, I hear, I'm listening, to your wonderful show here, the wonderful Rich Dickman
buddy.
show here.
Love
You
you,
said,
buddy.
you're talking about, moving on and stuff like that, but no one wants to move on. And here we are, as I said, Biden doesn't even take office until the 20th. So let's start there with a clean slate, both sides.
Why can't we start now?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why can't we start now?
Yeah.
In order to start now, Trump would have to concede the election. That would be the start.
Fuck
so
Trump.
because
That's
Biden
the whole
can't
thing.
start.
Fuck Trump. Fuck the
what's up?
Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. Why can't we just do our own thing? Why do we even need a government we put so much faith into when we know they're going to fuck us anyways? Like, fuck the government. What's the first thing they're going to do when they take control? Taxes go up. Oh, it's only going to be over people 400,000. Sure. Yeah, everybody's taxes going up because how are they going to pay for that student debt? Like, where's that coming from? Where's all the coronavirus shit going to come from? Fuck Trump for printing money and giving us a stupid stimulus checks. $1,200 is what we got, Ray. $1,200. People who are out of work, been out of work since March, and they've gotten one measly check for $1,200. Why? Because nobody can come to terms because they all hate each other. So fuck everybody. Fuck the government. Fuck the Democrats. Fuck the Republicans. It's time, you want a real revolution. It's time to throw the government over and have the people. Real government for the people, by the people, of the people.
You know who?
Because
that would be
real
nice.
Heroes are? The real heroes are people that are working in delivery services these days. We got like delivery drivers, parcel delivery, whatever it is. But I've had a number of delivery drivers show up lately, and they're saying they're like 40% busier, and it's insane that I heard an ad on the radio today that UPS is hiring 100,000 jobs. They're hiring 100,000 positions right now. Like,
because everything's
Jeff Bezos
backed up.
getting richer.
Yeah. But you know what? Nobody wants to work those jobs. You know why? Because there's motherfuckers that are literally making more money staying at home, getting unemployment because of all these boosts. Now those are starting to go away, which is a good thing. But like, it's just insane. Like the way, like, I hate that they were trying to do these boosting all that stuff. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Ray, we put on masks and we made Jeff Bezos richer than he could ever imagine. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to talk about? See, this is what's insane. People sit here, just people don't understand how numbers work or something like that. Which is this: everyone sits here and goes, "Oh my God, we've had over 200,000 deaths." Statistically, just saying, and now it sucks. It's absolutely like we don't want any deaths, but there's a reason the saying death and taxes exists, because it's inevitable. So that being the case, you want to see some insane numbers? Like 200,000 deaths is not insane. Listen, you want to know insane numbers?
People get
the amount of money that Jeff Bezos makes every second. Like, and you know how he makes that? How many fucking people are out there buying shit? Like there's that many people out there, that much money flowing. Like people are making a huge deal over the deaths, but I mean, the reality is like there's a lot of fucking people out there. It's just insane.
Yes, he makes $3 million a second, and he's not paying not a damn cent in taxes.
Yeah. Yeah. Why aren't they getting mad at him for not paying taxes?
Yeah.
They do get mad at him for not paying taxes, but guess who gave him a tax break? 20%.
Was it Trump?
Ding, 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 ding. Everyone wants to keep blaming poor people who are sitting on their butts, but as you already accounted for, they only had $1,200 back in what was that, May?
Yeah.
But yet, Jeff Bezos is making $3 million a second, getting a 20% tax rate and not paying taxes at all on top of that.
Yeah. That's fucked. That is completely fucked. The people who hurt the most during this bullshit that we're going through are the poor people. The people who just barely scraping by or have minimum wage jobs or whatever it is. And we fucked them good. We fucked them so hard. We didn't even kiss them first. We just fucked them. And so we should all be ashamed of ourselves for allowing this to continue, by the way. But anyways, Svenson, you have a 6.5 minute dick of the week that you submitted. Do you just want to do that since you're on the show now, or do you want me to play the whole thing?
Play it later. But let me ask you just one question. Now I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah. All right.
One question. Okay. Without saying Democrat, without saying Republican, where should we start or pick up or leave off from here to hopefully work toward something better?
I think we need to recognize that the federal government is not as important as we make it out to be and not give them the power that they think they have. We need to understand that the government on all levels, but mostly at that level, has been bought and paid for by lobbyists and by special interests and by big corporations. That, if we start taking a look at who the contributors are to these campaigns, we'll see where the policy falls. What has Senator Chris Murphy done for me in his 8 years as a senator? Absolutely nothing. What has Dick Blumenthal done for me? Nothing. I don't even know who my goddamn congressman, I think it's Joe Courtney. I don't see him around here. Where's my representation? I think we need to stop assigning so much importance to these people and start understanding we need to take care of ourselves in our own lives, and we need to take care of our communities. We need to start at the local level. My little town of what's my town called, Ray? I can't remember. Yeah, my little town of Crackerberry Junction. All right. We need to talk about what's happening here and how I can help my neighbor and what I can do to support my local board of ed or whatever it is. Or are they fucking with my money? We need to start there. That's more important than anything President Trump or President Biden ever do. Sure, they set the tone, they set policy, all this shit, but who fucking cares? Build my roads. All right. Build my roads and provide essential services and stay out of fucking other countries. And we'll be fine. All right. Don't touch my money either. All right. Or give me back some of my money. I think we deify politicians for some strange goddamn reason. Like my hero, Kamala Harris, awesome. I mean, it's great that you're a minority woman and you're going to be vice president. It's awesome. But like, why are you deified? And you put so many black men in jail for smoking weed. Like, are you out of your mind? I think you're a terrible human being. Same, Donald Trump, guy, it's a reality show star. And I couldn't stand him when he was on The Apprentice. Like, my God, it's like, this is the most annoying, oafish piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. But the reason he won the election in 2016 is because he wasn't a politician, because he said the things that we were thinking, because he came off that way, because he was brash and he said stupid things and he talked shit about people. That's why he won, because we're tired of politicians. And I think we need to understand that we are tired of politicians and that they're not the end all be all of our society. And that the sooner we understand that they're nothing more than just asshole policymakers who've just been bought and paid for by big corporations and lobbyists, the better off we'll be. And, Svenson, what you and I are doing today, you, me, and Ray, we're having a discussion. We may get a little heated, but we have our strong opinions. But at the end of this, Svenson, I'm saying I love you, man. I thank you for being a fan and getting back into it. Yeah. And you have your opinions. I have mine. We discuss them and we move on. I don't want to put you on a list and think you're evil because you voted for somebody who I might not like. It's fine. It's just stupid politics. And that we get so wrapped up and so angry because you and I might slightly differ on how taxes should be collected. It's the most insane shit in the world. And we get so angry over something so stupid.
Wow. So the original question was, where should we start to begin unifying? You went in a completely different direction than I was going to go. I was going to say 6 minute abs because, we all know that we could all become healthier as a society. That exercising a little bit increases your libido. It increases your happiness. It's just a concise, productive, and efficient exercise. I don't want to spend a lot of time exercising. 6 minutes? 6 minutes. I got 6 minutes. I can get some abs in 6 minutes. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's do it. I don't see why anyone would disagree with that. Randy obviously has a different opinion right now. But, I thought that, that's a good place to start. 6 minute abs. It's, You know?
I'll tell you how good it is to see Randy this week. I'm so happy he's back. I missed you last week, buddy.
Yeah, I know. It is good to see Randy's face back.
Yeah, but
I love it when he smiles.
just his face.
Oh my God. He has, it's like the perfect, it's just the perfect backdrop to the reactions. If anyone's not in the live show chat, like you guys have to make it. It's so worth
everybody.
it. It is worth it.
Nobody's
see our
here. It's
ugly
just
mugs and Randy's beautiful smiling face.
Svenson, I appreciate you having
thank you.
the
Thanks, Svenson.
intestinal fortitude to want to come on and argue with us. So I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. And you know what? And I learned a few things myself. So I appreciate you being here. But
That's not really an argument, just a discussion of ideas.
Yeah, you didn't vote for who I voted for, Dickman 2020, so we can't be friends anymore.
Yeah, asshole. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't vote for Dickman.
Well,
you got me back into this
could,
bullshit, Svenson. How could you not vote for me?
We could become friends again in 2024. You got a chance to redeem yourself, Svenson. But, you know, we got 4
I voted
years.
for Sheriff Star.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
okay.
it's worth
right,
it. Yeah. All right.
We're good.
We're good. All right. Oh, Ray, we got to do something fun. Svenson, thanks, buddy.
You want to do something fun? I mean, to me, this is funny. Maybe it'll get us back on the coronavirus thing. But do you want to talk about the mandates that California put in place that get Governor Gavin Newsom that thing for Thanksgiving and Christmas? Do you want to talk about that?
We talked about the Thanksgiving guidelines.
Did we already? Oh, fuck.
I told you what they were. Goddamn, Ray, you got to listen to the show, man. Jesus Christ.
No, we did it on Twitter. Did we actually do it on the show?
Yes. You don't even listen back, Ray. Like, I work so hard to bring this show together. I work so hard to rally, to corral you animals. I have to edit the show. I put it all together. I post it. Like, I'm up late fucking doing this shit. All right. And you don't even take time to listen back and say, hey, Rem, that was a good edit. You did a good job. No, you don't even know what we fucking talked about 2 weeks ago. Like, it was after the show we did with Ben, Vegas, baby. Yeah. Where I gave you the guidelines when I was all drunk and shit. And I was telling you how to live your life for Thanksgiving. Yeah. Now you remember. God damn it.
I don't actually remember. I'm just shaking my head saying yes.
I'm looking at all the stuff that I put in my notes, and we actually got to all of it without me getting to it, except for my stupid brother-in-law, who I had a birthday party at the house over the weekend for my daughter. And, maybe remember a couple weeks ago, actually back right around the 4th of July, studying about my brother-in-law got a new car. And, producer Ryan and I had shared a Four Loko, and he's like, oh man, you guys are sharing a drink during Corona. That's dangerous. Cause Ryan, he lives in New York, but I don't give a shit. Like fucking, I could use 2 weeks off. I could use several weeks off. It'd be fine. I don't give a shit. But, he was all like, oh, you guys gotta be careful. It's Corona time. Can't share drinks. And then, 5 minutes later, we're talking about his brand new car and how he got it in Maryland. And he drove 128 miles an hour on the highway coming back home on 95. Like, I don't know if you know Interstate 95 at all, Ray, but it's especially in that area, Maryland through New York, is pretty bad. He was doing 128 miles an hour. So I don't know
I bet I can beat that.
Is Corona that dangerous, or is he just talking points? I don't know. Anyways, I was drinking these Mike's Harder lemonades. All right. And I'm sitting there with Ask Producer Chris, and, we were talking about things, and the stupid brother-in-law comes over and he starts getting involved, and we were basically all the stuff that we kind of just went over. I'm like, I don't know, man. It just, I'm not a big fan of universal mail-in voting. Like, I think the absentee ballot program is fine, but when you're just sending unsolicited ballots, and you're just using old mailing lists, you heard on our show last week, producer Ryan got 2 ballots to his house. All right. So when you're sending all these ballots all over the place, it leads to questions. I'm not saying anything actually happened. I'm just saying, you know what? I'd feel better if that didn't exist. And there's control at the other end. And my stupid ass, because I'm drunk at this point. I don't know. Just, oh, okay. I don't do that. I was like, yeah, but who's doing the control, bud? Like, you don't know. People can be corrupted. Like, I started getting into that whole thing. And it's like, the worst fucking thing I could have done, because I lost my buzz. Like, I had a Mike's Harder and a half in me, and I was feeling good. And I hate being around my in-laws, except for producer Ryan and now it's producer Chris, right? So I was feeling good. And then my stupid brother-in-law just fucking ruined it all, because I had to listen to the whole, because he's like a tax accountant guy or some type of thing where he does numbers and controls. And I'm like, what the? All I'm saying, pal, is I'm not comfortable with universal mail-in voting, but, there's probably a better way to do it. I mean, you're fucking here telling me about control and all this. Like, shut the fuck up. You just ruined my day. That's what I'm saying. You can't talk to anybody.
Right. You just need more to drink. More to drink. More to yell at.
Talk to anybody. It just ruins everything. Okay.
Like a
well, go ahead, but I'm sorry.
portable punching bag. Do you think we could invent a portable vent machine, like something we could go on Shark Tank with that? Something where you could, instead of taking it out in words on like an in-law, or something like a screaming booth, like a cone of silence or something.
It's called
like that. We could probably invent something.
It's called starting a podcast.
Maybe millionaires.
Start.
Yeah, well, Mark Cuban would love
podcast.
us. He'd go in on that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Podcast. We never do that.
You want segments? We've got segments. It's Thinking with Your Dickman.
So I do apologize to our listeners. I did not expect to spend an hour getting angry at things and talking about stuff, but I think it was good. It was good to get it all out. Like, I feel better now. Like, Svenson, thank you for coming on and talking with us, because sometimes just me and Ray in our echo chamber, we just piss people off, but Svenson offers an alternative point of view, which I really do appreciate and I respect a lot. All right. So we're now into our Thinking with Your Dickman. Ray, if you would be so kind as to read the email that we received. Man, I hope it's not about the election, but we'll see.
No, it's going to be a good one. This will be fun.
Oh, okay, good.
So Jeffrey writes in, tell me all your thoughts about the election.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay, that's not what he really wrote. Okay, he didn't write that.
Rewind one
All
hour.
right, Jeffrey writes in, kill me now. My dumb mom thinks the day after Halloween is Christmas season, so she decorates and plays music nonstop. Even worse, Mom only listens to one song, Jingle Bells. I told her if she doesn't quit... Why is this so funny? I told her if she doesn't quit, I'll burn the house down and cancel her Spotify account. She laughs at me and continues playing that devil music. Please, how do I convince her to stop or get her committed to an insane asylum?
Who wrote this letter?
Jeffrey. Their grandma was pretty piss poor.
I don't have a Jeffrey in my family, but this sounds exactly like the in-law side of the family. Holy shit. Like, as soon as Halloween's over, Christmas decorations come out, Christmas music is going, and it's like, you know what, God damn it, like, fucking wait to Thanksgiving. It's not that hard. It's just 3 weeks away. Just wait to fucking Thanksgiving, and that's when you do all the Christmas stuff. Are you why are we rushing this? Why are we rushing the year? Right? It's not even. It was 75 degrees. It's been 75 the past 4 days here in Connecticut. It's not winter time. It's not time for Christmas. There's people in this world, Ray, all right? And my sister-in-law is one of them. And she got this from my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law's gotten better the past few years. My sister-in-law, Jesus Christ, Christmas starts in fucking June for some of these people, They love Christmas. Like, they love Christmas. Like, why do you love Christmas so much? All right. Like, I don't understand. Like, first of all, you don't go to church, so you're not worshiping Jesus Christ, what Christmas is really about. Don't forget the Christ in Christmas, Ray. I don't know if you know that, but Christ is in Christmas. Okay. Get your shit together. But you're not celebrating Jesus Christ.
That.
You're not. Yeah. Like, you're wearing Christmas shirts. It's after Halloween. You're wearing fucking Christmas shirts. My daughter's, but like, are you fucking insane? Like, who fucking cares? You're not even that happy. Like, you're not spreading joy and cheer to everybody in the days leading up to Christmas. So why are you forcing me into your Christmas bullshit? I don't understand the need for people to rush the Christmas season. Christmas season begins the Friday after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Now, we've corrupted Black Friday, all right, and made it something totally different, but that's when Christmas starts. It's the day after Thanksgiving. Why are you not shaking your head? Apparently, you disagree with me.
No, I was agreeing.
Okay.
I agree that basically celebrating that early, that's like if you were planning on having sex and then you literally right before you start, you just like jerk off. Like, what? You came too early. Like, what do you got to time it right. Like, what are you doing here? You're going to burn out, right? You're running a marathon and you sprint the first like 3 miles and then you can't finish. You make it 10 miles. Like, you didn't make it. Like, what are we doing here? There's a reason why you start and only want like the 3 to 4 weeks of actual Christmas time, because otherwise it becomes like listening to Baby Shark on repeat. You lose your freaking mind. So you got to pace yourself by waiting until the requisite time. This is, aren't there laws on this? Like this is, it's unwritten laws, but there's laws on this. We should be able, these are the things politicians need to start running on their platforms, right?
Yes. These are real social issues that affect real people. Absolutely. Like this needs to be addressed in the next presidential election. Like the first person running for Congress who wants to make sure Christmas doesn't start until after Thanksgiving, he's got my vote. I don't care what party it is. He could be fucking Communist Party for all I care. That's who I'm voting for because it's bullshit. Like it's mental illness at this point. If you need to start your holiday at the day after Halloween, that's mental illness. And now I have much respect for everybody with real mental illness and who are struggling and trying to find their way. Please, I'm here. You can reach out, richdickmanshow@gmail.com, or you can seek help. And I would recommend seeing a therapist because therapists are great for some people, not for everybody. There's different things for different people. I learned that as well. Now, but this is that type of mental illness where you don't want to have to do you want anything to do with these people who love, and it's Christmas. It's like, it's no other holiday. Like people don't start celebrating Easter in February, right? It's only Christmas they start celebrating 2 months early. So I don't understand. Like, what's so great about Christmas? You know what? I think my opinion on Christmas has been corrupted by the industry that I'm in. All right. I haven't enjoyed a Christmas season in, it'll be 14 or 15 years. Okay. My Christmas gets ruined every single year. And this year is no different. This is just, it's terrible right now. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. You know, Christmas used to be fun. Christmas is nothing, for me anyways, is nothing but a struggle at work and personally, because like I have to now split time between 2 different families, and you gotta find a way to bring everybody together into one spot. And it's nothing but stress and hassle. And I just cannot wait for December 26th when it's all over. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I have for many years now, this is basically this coming Christmas will be the 10th year that my wife and I will have been doing this, where we've got the multiple families going to the Christmases, right?
Yeah.
So it's been exactly what you say, going to multiple houses. We go to the one, it's 2 a.m. by the time we leave there, go to the other house. I mean, it's not fun.
It's horrible.
It's so terrible that I bought this multi-million-dollar house just so that we could host Christmas. Okay, it's not a multi-million-dollar house, but we're hosting Christmas so we don't have to fucking go out.
Fucking guy spent $2.75 million house in Palm Springs.
I got my podcast bonus. It came in for all the bumpers, so I just splurged a little.
He can splurge on a house, but he can't pay for hosting on the website. God damn it!
Yeah, that's what the Patreon money's for. But I we're just going off the rails. So somebody. Some people at work have kind of gone down this path of they're already in the Christmas spirit, which I will say this. One of them in my office was so excited for Christmas that they said the day after Halloween, kind of along the same lines. So I'm usually in the office before everybody else. When they walked in, I was playing Christmas music, and the look on their face was priceless. Like they were so happy. And you know what? If that's what you get, I'm all for it. But then you have those people that it just brings all the stress. We don't need any of that. If someone's walking around playing Christmas music, doing all that bullshit, and they have a frown on their face, those are the ones we got to figure out how to put them in some sort of timeout kind of thing. Not like a jail, but like a little 2 or 3 hours. A little timeout. Take a nap. Yeah. Maybe. I don't even know. You know what? This is what the government should be doing with the money. Put them in a little. It's like go get a massage. You relax. You get something nice.
An Asian massage.
That kind of thing,
right? Svenson, an Asian massage, baby. That's right. Hell yeah. Hey, I got to tell you what, as much as I hate this coronavirus bullshit, and I think it's all bullshit. Like, okay, it's real. I know it's real. Okay, it's still bullshit. Coronavirus has afforded me an opportunity to not stress this holiday season between Thanksgiving and Christmas, because our governor has instituted his own restrictions for Thanksgiving. And it's the greatest thing ever right now. Okay. Because I'm doing Thanksgiving with my parents this coming weekend. All right. And then in 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, because it's my dad's birthday on Friday, and my birthday's on the 28th. We're doing our birthdays, and we're doing a Thanksgiving at my parents' house with just like 2 of their friends, and it's going to be great. And then I usually host Thanksgiving at my house. I don't have to this year, okay? Because I already, I got it. Apparently, I'm going to my sister-in-law's, like with the stupid brother-in-law. I'm going there. I can deal with that because you know what? I can get drunk. I can just knock him back. I don't have to cook. I don't have to do shit. I can just sit there and I get drunk with Ask Producer Chris and Producer Ryan. Hopefully, the same holds true for Christmas, where I don't have to really split time between anybody. And I can, oh yeah, COVID. Sorry. Coronavirus. Got to quarantine. I can't do it this year. I gotta stay home. I don't want to get you sick, Ma. I don't want to get you sick. I don't want to get you sick, father-in-law.
Yeah, you just got to do this. Hey, what time we
Yeah.
Excuse me. What time we meeting? What time's
exactly.
Party out?
Oh, sorry. I got a 99.9 fever. I'm all right though. It's not really a fever till it's 100. So we'll be good.
It's not.
Oh, you don't want me to come? Are you sure you don't want me to? I mean, what if I just send the kids? No, you don't want them. Oh, okay. Next year? All right. Yeah. This damn Corona, right? Damn Corona. Fucking everything up. You know what I miss? I miss doing improv. Randy, give us a topic to improv. Throw it in the chat room. I'm going to see how Ray's chops are. All right. Ray, we got to think of what we're doing the next couple of weeks. So I'm sorry. What was it? We have to answer the question here. How do you turn just you know what? If she has a Twitter account, report it for self-harm and get her Twitter account banned. Yeah. Okay, we're getting tested for the vid at CVS. All right, Ray, do you want to be the person getting tested, or do you want to be the guy at CVS helping?
Is. How do I not know?
It's COVID, anything? You dumbass.
Sorry. I didn't read it. I didn't see the vid.
Okay.
I just saw a vid.
All right. All right. Because you know what? I have a lot of experience in this because I just watched a video on how the testing process at CVS goes at the drive-thru. So you are going to be a person pulling up to the drive-thru for your COVID test, and I will be the person administering it to you.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right. Hello, sir. How may I help you today?
Let me roll my window down.
You don't describe
Sorry, did
everything,
you say something?
Ray. It's fucking Yes.
Did you say something? My window was rolled
How
down.
can I help you? Hello, sir. How can I help you? Yes.
Hi. Sorry, I think that I was possibly exposed to coronavirus. That's what I've been told.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry. What can I do for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was in a Zoom call and someone coughed. So they said I need to get tested before I can go back to work from home. So
so you need a COVID test.
Testing thing.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, here. Let me slide this thing to you. Okay, coming through the drive-through door thing that I have here is your testing kit in this little basket. So take the basket, put it in your lap. Okay, you have some paperwork there, and that will be how you get the results of your test. So in a couple of days, you check that. All right. Now you see that we have a vial with liquid in it. Put that to the side, and now you have a little pouch with swabs in it. Okay. Open up that pouch with swabs, but don't touch the swab.
But that's really difficult. It's this.
No, you
really open.
You got to rip the paper.
Scissors?
Rip the paper about halfway.
Do you have a scalpel?
No, you got to use your hands. I can't do because that'll infect it. You have to rip the paper.
I got it. Oh,
okay.
I fumbled the one. Do you have another one? Do you have another one? I'm sorry.
No, there's 3 in there. So you can make 2 mistakes. So there's 3. All right. So take the swab. Do not touch the swab.
Got number 2.
Itself, right? Just touch the wood on the swab, but don't touch the cotton. Go into your right nostril. About 3.
I'm good at touching the wood.
Yes.
Okay. My nostril.
Sir, you have to let me finish explaining this. So you have to understand because it's going to fail.
I'm not good with
get false positive or negative
or tests.
Sir,
I failed high school.
Put the cotton end of the swab about 3/4 of an inch up your nose and rotate for 15 seconds.
Which nostril? Which nostril?
Start with the right one.
How am I?
Start with the right one.
The right one. All right.
Start with the right one.
Okay. Ow! This hurts.
Too far.
Ow! How far do I go?
3/4 of an inch, sir. That's what I said. 3/4 of an inch. All right. Now take that same swab out of your right nostril, sir.
What do you think? I work in construction. I don't know how long 3/4 of an inch is.
Take the swab out of your nostril, insert it into the other nostril. Same swab, different nostril. 15 more seconds rotating. Go ahead. All right.
All right.
Do you feel like you have to sneeze
rotating.
yet?
swirling.
All right. Okay.
Wow, this has a lot of boogers on it.
Yes. Now you have to insert that swab. Okay. Test end down.
Okay.
Into the vial with liquid, but you have to open up the vial with liquid first. All right, you only have 2 hands. Figure this one out.
Yeah, I only have 2 hands. Can you hold the swab for me, maybe? While how do I?
I cannot. Sir, you might infect me with COVID. I will not hold anything for you.
Okay, I'm gonna try and put the swab in between my knees and hold it while I use my 2 hands to open.
Sir. Sir, hold.
I almost spilled it.
No.
Okay, close call.
Hold the swab in your forefinger and your thumb. Use your other remaining fingers to take the lid off the vial and then insert test end down into the liquid. Okay? I just had a 90-year-old lady just drive through here in her own Subaru, and she did it no problem. So you should have no issue with this.
Oh, this is like rubbing my belly and tapping my head. Oh, I got it. Okay, and I put the swab end inside. All right. Let's put it in there. What do I do with the lid? I dropped the lid. It's under my seat.
Put the lid.
Do I need the lid?
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Sir, just drink the liquid.
Okay. I don't know why why didn't I just do this to begin? I had to mix it. Okay.
Ray, you're making this difficult on purpose. All right. That's enough. That's not this bullshit. Thank you, Randy, for that. Svenson wants me to talk about Jules real quick, so I certainly will. Do we have a book a bumper for when I talk about Jules?
Do I have COVID or not?
I want to. You'll know in 2 to 5 days.
Well, that's what they. Okay, just say this. I've had multiple people at work get tested for various reasons, either they're required to get on a job site or otherwise. And I swear to God, every time they're like 2 to 3 business days. It's like 7 to 9. Okay, these fucking, and there's always like, oh, sorry, there was a delay. Overwhelming response of tests. Well, no shit. What do you think? Why couldn't you have started with that? Anyway, all right, so let's talk about Jules.
All right. So, Jules is very much affected by the election because, apparently Donald Trump is the most evil human being in history and has personally affected her life and her ability to move forward. Donald Trump has put his hand around her throat and held her down against a pillow and said, "Don't you move, bitch. Don't you dare move because I'll fucking kill you. I will fucking kill you if you try to be anything more than what I tell you to be." That's what Donald Trump did to Jules. Okay. So, she's been all about getting out to vote.
Everybody.
And, you have to get rid of the fascist dictator that we have. All right. So there's 2 tweets that I sent, that the Rich Dickman Show account sent to you, Ray, and they wanted to know how you felt since you were in construction, how you felt about them. Mm-hmm. So the first one that was sent was a quote tweet. Okay. So she quoted Dan Rather, and Dan Rather tweeted, "There is no healing without a reckoning on injustice." And then Jules, adds her own thoughts. As always, Dan Rather says it best. Okay. So then the other one that was tweeted at you, Ray, for your opinion, and it was part of a thread, but this is the last 2 of it. And so I'll read both of them. "We do this to kids a lot, especially. We think it teaches them to learn how to self-soothe by doing it on their own without our help. But imagine a world where a kid can express their emotion without having it be dismissed. Imagine they could feel like they're being heard. If someone holds space for us and makes us feel heard and seen, gives us comfort and space to express our emotions without judgment, it allows us the mental space to do it for someone else. I know it's the Pollyanna in me, but that's the world I want to live in." So we go from that to there's no healing without a reckoning on injustice. So the people who have views that you don't agree with, we're not allowed to give them space and hear them or see them. Was that what I'm reading here, Ray, or am I just an asshole?
Yeah. So, I took the first one as I don't follow politics at all ever. But yeah, I'm sure Dan Rather is saying, referencing Trump, right? And basically, he hates him. We need to go get him.
Yeah.
And
what is injustice? Is it the people who voted for Trump, or the actual injustice? Like, what are you getting at there? But I took that myself as endorsing putting people on lists, as I railed against earlier in the show.
Yeah,
but then we go
I can see that too. Again, I mean, there's obviously reading between the lines, in there. But either way, the general point remains that he's saying if someone's done wrong, you got to go get them. Whereas she's basically saying she supports that, and then in the next one saying everyone should have a voice.
You're
and
allowed
be heard. Equal opportunity to just be heard. Just be heard.
Yeah, you should
no matter what.
You should be allowed to have the thoughts and feelings that you have, no matter what they are, and we should understand that you have those thoughts and feelings, even if we disagree with them. Yeah, so it's kind of an incongruent message in my head, and that leads me where I really wanted to go with this show before I got into all the politics of it and so on. I'm really sorry. It's like all the fucking people I used to know in the WoW community who really who really become like people like I don't even recognize anymore. And yeah, you know what? Part of that's fair because a lot of them I haven't talked to since 2015, so it's been 5 years. The one who really bothers me though is my old buddy Ben. You remember Ben from Azeroth Roundtable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ben and I, we were doing, we did the flex mode. We all worked together. Me, Ben, and John worked on the Jules Bot special. And Ben and I did the Doctor Who recap show that I did for a couple episodes.
Mm-hmm. I thought you guys were good buddies.
So when I left, when I quit Torn Think Tank, Ben was one of the only people who knew what actually happened because I had him on Skype and we were talking. I say, Ben, I got to tell you what happens. I got to tell somebody, because Fit knows, and that's about it. And I told him as I've told everybody here how it happened. That's what I told Ben, and with a little more clarity too, because it just happened, right? And more, memories and stuff. And I said, Ben, listen, I don't tell you this to tell you not to be friends with Jules, but just, I know your lady is getting in close with her, and just be careful because you never know when Jules might decide she doesn't need you anymore, So I told Ben that. And then as I stopped podcast, I did the whole vote for Ben thing. Remember that? That's how you got started.
Oh yeah.
Vote for Ben in the podcast tournament, the WoW podcast. Yeah. And we pushed him to second place. And I really liked Ben because Ben was a nice guy. Yeah. And then
I'm gonna put that on my resume.
And then Donald Trump, you should. Then Donald Trump became president, and like a whole bunch of people began to change when Donald Trump became president. Because it's amazing the power that one man has to get your whole personality to change and make you freak out. But Ben became kind of a pussy. And that's the easiest way I could say it. Like Ben, really became, a real pussy about things, and it's been weird. And you have to forgive me now. I wanted to do this beginning of the show when I wouldn't be drunk, and now I am drunk, so it's a little harder. Form my thoughts. But one of the things that kind of set me off is he had quoted a comic book writer, Dan Slott, about how no votes are illegal. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense because there are rules we have to follow when we vote. And if you don't follow those rules, maybe illegal is the wrong word, but it's not a legit vote, right? I'm sorry the orange man has been so mean to you for the past 4 years, Ben, but what the fuck, grow up. Fucking get your shit together and take care of yourself and your lady. Who the fuck cares? That's the whole thing. He got mad because he turned out to be a disappointment. He was so affected by one person. He's such a weak-minded individual. He was so affected by one person that he became just such a weird piece of shit. That's what that was.
And see, I've dealt with that too. I've had, like I was saying in the past, when I worked at In-N-Out Burger, I had one of my best friends, and at some point, that guy had said something to his now wife, who was one of the best friends of my wife. She had said something to my wife along the lines of, he had said, it's too complicated, but
I remember now what I wanted to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Don't let me forget.
But when I got a real job, maybe we could be friends again. Which was one of those I
remember
just
yeah,
working.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, and it's at some point I'm all right, you know what? What do you mean a real job? I'm working and at some point you go, you know what? People think like that, fuck them. It's, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lose anything. You know what? If someone has that mentality, it doesn't really matter where we're at. If we cross paths again and everything's kosher, awesome. But I'm not going to waste my time sitting here worrying too much about it. Same thing there. At some point, if someone's affecting your life in a negative manner, you'll be fine. You will be fine. Move on.
So, Ben and I were close, right? And then I told him about the Jules stuff, and then we were close for a little bit, but then we kind of drifted apart. So after the vote for Ben thing, because I think he was kind of embarrassed by it. But so this is what got me angry when I started seeing these things about how we have to be kind and all this bullshit. Where were they? When were they kind to me? They all forgot about me. right? They all once I stopped doing Torn Think Tank, I wasn't useful to them anymore. So they all forgot about me. Like my friends who I did shows with didn't check in with me anymore and say, "Hey, Rem, what's going on? I got an idea for a thing." It was all like me saying, "Hey guys, are we going to do a thing?" And the rest of them being like, "No, we're not going to do a thing." You know? So yeah, I guess I kind of resent that a little bit. You do some, working creatively with somebody, Ray, will really change your opinion of them. You think you're really close because you guys are vibing, you got the same ideas and stuff, but all of a sudden you realize, oh no, these are really weak and pathetic assholes, and I'm sorry I ever associated with them in the first place. Wow, that's really harsh. All right, so that was the Jules stuff.
No, that's exactly. That's probably why I enjoyed listening to your stuff as much as I did, because that's kind of what happened to me when I was in and out. It was literally just a bunch of everyone was best buds, and then I got fired, which is half fired / laid off. That was 2008, 9, and those guys disappeared. I couldn't get a hold of anybody. They didn't want to hang out anymore, nothing like that. And it's like, I'm available. I'm trying to hang out. We used to hang out all the time. And it's, kind of the same thing where it's like, at some point you're like, all right, well, that's interesting. I guess we can't be friends because we don't work together or don't do the same stuff. Like we were friends outside of work. How come that has to change? And it's obviously it sucks, but again, we'll survive.
Out of all the people I used to do projects with, I did tell Mark Conan, because Mark Conan was getting involved with the show. I said, "Hey man, you just got to be, this is what's going on. I just want you to know." And I told Ben. I didn't tell John, I didn't tell Ro, any of them. Because I didn't want to come off like an asshole and affect their relationships with anybody, right? Because that wasn't right. And I didn't want to I didn't need them. I didn't want to try to convince them to be on my side. I didn't want them to have to take sides, all right? Because I knew that was difficult for people.
Because you want authentic friends.
Yeah. So I didn't tell anybody what happened because I didn't want to just cloud their judgment. If they like Jules, good. They like Jules, and if they like hanging out, that's fine. I didn't, but just to have everybody just kind of disappear, and then then suddenly come around and take her side of things and just fucking ignore me. I've tried to get Ro on this show a couple times as it is, and to be honest, because I want people to know I'm podcasting again, and he's got a big audience over there of my old audience, even though they're all fucking assholes and I hate all of them. I want to tell them that. I want them to hear it from me. But yeah, no, Ro won't come on the show. He's always some excuse. And I love Coltrane to death, but Coltrane didn't want nothing to do with us over here. You know that. You asked him to do a little bit of a project. Yeah. Ben and John, who I used to text nonstop about comics and stuff, especially Ben, I would reach out to Ben and wish him a happy birthday because I had it saved, and then that just became a thing. It's weird. It's not weird, and I resent it a little bit, and I could be honest, I do resent it, and it makes me a little bit angry. But that's why I talk about it on the show, because tomorrow I'll forget all about it.
No, but at the end of the day, yeah, you definitely. I don't know. It's almost like you don't want to let it go. Going back to the Frozen.
Yeah, Randy's saying let it go. And the only reason I bring it up now is because after the election, it really brought out the asshole in them. Fucking John Jagger does a whole thread on how we have to be kind, even though we don't. What was the thread? Something about understanding the other side is wrong, and looking to forgive without forgiving. That's inauthentic bullshit. And then it's who the fuck cares what your opinion is? Why do you think this is necessary to put out on? Why do you think it's necessary to give this to everybody? Who do you think you are? And then these idiots on election day, I'm going to take the day off social media because everything's too crazy right now. You fucking pussy. Take a day off social media.
Okay.
You made the choice to be on social media in the first place. You don't get a day off. Fuck you. But anyways, that's it.
Well,
a little grumpy.
I really do hope that they are able to listen at some point and just hear. Because that's one of those things now I have a real job. So, but see, you want them to find it organically, right? To an extent, as in, and understand. It's like you break up with your ex and you want them to hear through the grapevine that you found a new apple of your eye and you're doing so well. Everything's going swimmingly. But it's life.
Ben was a huge fan of liquor fueled right? Ben loved Liquor Fueled, so Ben listened to all my stuff. He was a fan of everything I did. I've been doing this show. I haven't heard from many of them say, hey, I like the Rich Dickman Show, or why are you podcasting? Nobody's even asked a question. Nobody said, hey, what's up? Because they don't care, and that's fine. It's their right, but I'm also allowed to feel weird about it too, I guess.
You know what?
Anyways.
The only thing I'm noticing, the chat room, I've seen a lot of, I stuck with Rem. Rem's authentic. I like Rem over stuff like that in the chat room. I'm
the biggest asshole.
Giving me compliments though. Like, what the fuck is this? We're going to have to get in a fight, break up, so I can hopefully start my own podcast. It maybe like
Ray?
a couple of years, but then get some of these. I need compliments, people. Come on.
You need to start bringing out the best in me so people can understand the value that you have. You got a birthday show to plan.
I don't have anything. Yeah, I got to do. I got to do something. I literally just show up every week. That's about all. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm just good for being here.
You really do. You really do. We have to change the entire month of November because of you.
I'm good at showing up. And I say that the week before, I might not be able to make it.
Ray, say the word. It's enough of this bullshit.
Let's bring this baby home.
I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the Rich Dickman Show audience. I'm so sorry for tonight's episode. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I really do.
You're welcome.
But sometimes you just have to get it off your chest, right? And we had a wonderful discussion between me and Ray and Svenson. So thank you, Svenson, for being part of that. And Randy, wish you could have gotten your shit together because you probably would have had something interesting to say too. Yep, still can't hear you, bud. Still can't hear you. I'm so sorry. I know. We'll work on that for next week. Randy will be here. I'll be here. Ray won't. What are you going to do? We'll figure it out.
What are you going to do?
Yes, but thank you guys. And listen, we're allowed to think the way we want to think and have thoughts. And, as long as we're not hurting anybody, there should be nothing wrong with that, right? I love each and every one of you who does listen to you, no matter what your political beliefs are, because political beliefs don't mean anything in the long run. I just want to know that you're a good person. Oh, that's another thing. Like I tried retweeting one of those things that says really your political beliefs don't matter and what matters is how you treat people. And then Chris OC decides to reply to it. It's like, yeah, but if you vote for somebody who would hurt those people, is that even treating them well? It's like, what the fuck, Chris OC? Like you fucking this up, man. What the hell's wrong with you? Everyone's got to find an extra meaning in things. Unbelievable. Spaghetti, thinking about you, buddy. Hope you're having a great time making chow mein. Thank you so much for listening to Rich Dickman Show. We love it when you do and really appreciate all the time you've given us in your lives. It means so much. Listen, next week's show will be even better. All right, I'm sorry. We need to get this one off my chest. But if you like what we do and you want to support the show, you can tell a friend and leave a review. And if you like us even more than that, then why not check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Rich Dickman. We got lots of bonus content on there. We got some liquor fueled episodes. We still got to do the next pop-up audio, Ray. We'll figure that one out.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't able to get to it this weekend, but it's coming. And if you get in the top tier, we get you a custom t-shirt, just like I have to send Sarah Starr, and I forgot to get a hold of her this week to do that. But you can also find us online at richdickman.com for all of your Rich Dickman needs. Click that merch tab. Get yourself some swag. All right. Click the video content tab. Or video tab, one of the tabs that has video on it, click that one and subscribe to our YouTube page. All right. Because we got the episodes up there. We got some bonus stuff. We got our eating contests and my cooking videos all up there on our YouTube page. So thank you very, very much. I would like to thank everybody involved in last week's show, by the way, to their election episode. A lot of fun. All right. Everybody who contributed, Maddie and Adam and Isaac and Svenson. And the guys at Roast Mortem, Cody and Tom, and of course the beautiful Sarah Starr. Thank you guys. It was a great episode, so thank you. I appreciate it. All right. If you want to get in touch with the show, it's richdickmanshow@gmail.com. And you can find executive producer Randy on Twitter at SirZero with an E, but he doesn't use Twitter, so good luck with that. You can find us on Twitter at Rich Dickman Show. You can find me at Rem Dickman. You can find producer Ryan at Ryan TRDS. And of course, my mother at Rem_Mama. And then there is Ray. Ray, how do we find you, bud?
At Jules Winfeld. Or obviously the best way. Just call me directly. It's my direct line, 860-316-4776. If I don't answer and it says something about voicemail, just ignore that. Just leave me a message.
Yeah.
I'll call you right back.
We like to hear those. Yeah. Talk about construction. Ray, do you have to relinquish your POTUS Twitter handle?
To relinquish what? The POTUS Twitter handle? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the recount comes in. Okay. I'm contesting this, but more
Yeah,
than
keep
likely,
contesting.
I might have to
Fight
do
for
that.
your rights. Fight for your rights.
Yeah.
How wild would it be if it actually turns out this guy flips this around and then he wins again? God damn.
Oh my God.
That'd be
Like,
embarrassing. Hey,
For like entertainment value, it would be worth it. But I also don't want that to happen because it'd be utter chaos. Like I do what I
that's a
tell.
real
You know what I
Civil
mean?
War.
Like,
yeah.
you know,
Can you imagine if he lost by 4 million popular votes and lost at Electoral College, but then it got flipped around somehow, either through court or legislatures or something, and then he won?
my God.
Oh my God. Buy your guns and get in
Mayhem.
your basement because holy shit.
We've got a lot of guns.
Yeah.
But yes, I would buy more guns. I would buy sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. I would need to stock up.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you got to get under your arm to go. Pop, 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 pop. All right. Randy, love you, buddy. Thank you for being here. And of course, Svenson, thank you for participating tonight. You are a treasure. And you know what, Svenson? I wouldn't be here today on this podcast if it wasn't for you sending me a computer that didn't work 4 years ago. Love you, buddy. And love you all. We'll be back next week, 134. Good night.
See ya. Let's bring this baby home. Oh, fuck. I am so bad at this pod smacking thing.
Spencer, did I send that back to you, or did you tell me to throw it away? I don't remember because I don't have it.
He just didn't want to take it to the e-recycling. He's like, it's cheaper to mail it to someone else. It's cost too much. Cost too much to take it to the dump.
Yeah, if I threw it away, I just threw it in my fucking dumpster. Like, fuck you.
You're like, I booted it up, but the screen was black and orange, which is, you're like, what? I remember.
No, it wouldn't even. It wouldn't even do that.
90s.
It wouldn't even do that. You know, Ray, I almost came back to Bali. It was 2016 when he sent that thing to me. That's when I almost came back. Man, I don't know what I would have done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I went to the gym this morning and I had to find a random shirt, pulled it out, put it on because the baby's sleeping in the room that I need to get the shirt from. So I put it on, I get to the gym, there's a mirror in front of me and I look at it and it says, whatever the run was called, 20-mile run. And it said, December 4th, 2018. And I thought, you know what? That's interesting. That's when I had just started listening to this show, just before that. And I listened to like 3 episodes during that run. And that's the run that like at the end, like I was dead. Like I literally went to the hospital. Like I actually went to the hospital because I was so fucked up. Like I had not trained for that. Yeah. So, but I was like, wow, that's a trip down memory lane there. Glad I'm wearing this shirt. So it's a good thing that today, after wearing that shirt, I'm here and I'm not in the hospital. Go me.
I'm so sorry. I keep apologizing for that laptop. But hey, I mean, it worked the last time I had used it.
It's okay, Sven. It's funny. That's why I bring it up. It's funny. I really appreciate it. It's very sweet of you to do that.
Yeah, it's nice.
It was like $35 to $40 to send that damn stupid thing. Oh man.
Yeah,
cheese and rice.
That was a lot.
It's a tax write-off. If only you could probably. There's probably people out there that like have connections to be able to find ways to ship it cheaper or something. But I don't know.
No, he shipped it the cheapest. He shipped it the cheapest he could. Yeah.
I shipped a computer once, like a whole computer, because I traded it for like a paintball gun, and it cost me like $150 to ship that computer.